All right, everybody. So let's check out this example PEA. So what you're going to want to do before we do anything else is you're going to want to click on example PEA there, and it's going to take you to the article that this PEA was written about. And you don't need to read the article to make sense of this, but it might help. So your PEA is made up of the three essentials: your point or your claim, we could call it, which is simply your answer to the question that's being asked, or in you guys' case, it is your theme statement. So what is the theme of the story? That would be the question. So that's the first thing. You clearly answer the prompt's question. Then you're going to provide the evidence, obviously, the E portion, to back that up. And that is what we did the previous slide for. You guys should have two pieces of evidence that you can now use to back up your theme. And then you follow that up with your analysis or your explanation. And this is the part that should take you the most time. This should be the most wordy, but this is where you get to defend your claim. This is where you explain why your evidence proves your claim is true. All right. This is stuff that we've done before, just a bit of a refresher, but there is one thing we're going to add, and that's this yellow box here: context before your evidence. So all context is you providing a little bit of background information, a little bit of a preview, a little bit of an idea as to what the evidence you're about to show me, what it says, why it's important, where it shows up in the text. Just give me a little bit of an idea as to what that direct quote you're going to show me has to do with before showing it to me. That way it makes more sense, and the point you're trying to make with it just is that much more powerful and effective. So if we check it out, the claim for this article here is that the author, Rebecca Farlander, speaks about the benefits of taking a gap year and the many things that she learned in her own experience. So this person says that this article is about gap years and the benefits and the things you can experience while you're taking one. Then, before she shows me evidence to back that up, this person gave me a bit of context. Doesn't got to be a lot, but just a little bitty baby bit to give me an idea as to what the evidence you're about to show me, what it has to do with, where it comes from, why it's important. So, what she did was she simply kind of paraphrased what the evidence was going to show or what the evidence was going to talk about. She said, during her gap years, Rebecca learned very valuable lessons. That's it. So now she's probably going to show me evidence that has to do with the types of lessons that this person learned. During her gap years, Rebecca learned very valuable lessons. For instance, she realized she wanted to travel more throughout the world and that human potential must not be wasted. So the context there just told me that these are lessons that she learned, and then the evidence that she pulled was just the lessons. Notice this isn't like a long chunk of text. This person just took the bits of the evidence they needed, and that was it. Okay, don't use more of a direct quote than you need to. Then the last bit is the blue bit, and that's where you explain how all this connects. Why is this important? Why should I care? So this person took the route of explaining, why these lessons that she learned were valuable and why these lessons made her feel as if the gap year was a benefit. She says, these were valuable lessons for Miss Farlander to learn because they gave her a bit better perspective on what she wanted to do with the rest of her life and what she should focus on studying while in college. Had she not taken those gap years to find herself, she may have wound up majoring in something in college she wasn't truly passionate about and following a career path that was unfulfilling and didn't make her happy. All right. So you guys is going to look a little bit like this, but obviously it's going to be over a totally different topic. When you go in to write yours, I do want you, once it's done, to color code each of the four pieces. That way you can be sure you have all the pieces, and it makes it a bit easier for me when I'm assessing it. But remember, yours is going to be about the theme from the Velt. So your claim or your point simply needs to be your theme statement. You need to provide a little bit of context about the evidence that you're going to use, your strongest piece. Give me an idea of where it comes in the story, what's happening up to that point. Maybe give me an idea as to why this evidence why do you find it important? Maybe give me an idea of what I should be seeing in the evidence. Then you're going to plug in that direct quote. Remember, don't use more than you need. And then the last bit, 3 or 4 sentences explaining why that evidence you showed me proves the theme is what you say it is. Okay? Now, don't stress out if this seems like a lot. this is going to be practice number 1. We are going to go back over these. We are going to talk about these here in a few class periods. So don't stress out. All I ask is you do your best, put some effort into this, and then we'll work with what we get. All right. But you're going to plug your entire PEA into this slide. Make sure to color code it, and then you can submit. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Otherwise, get started.